Okay, I promise I think we're ready. I promise. So, just to set things up for you guys, and reiterate, I sent you this part earlier, but it's been 20 years since the events in Aquavice. The warforged that survived rebuilt the city and have been able to maintain some form of its some of its former beauty. Sorry, I just had like a mild stroke. Pelor was able to be healed from her wounds, though weaker than before. Because of his noble sacrifice to stay and find his daughter, she granted Rynor a small amount of her powers to help him track down the location. This is when Rynor finds out that she's somewhere in Aquavice. The land, not the little city. Unable to protect the land as well as she once did, the town is now the only safe place from the sickness. Pelor has entrusted Crunch with traveling out through the lands that were once protected by her wards to find any survivors and bring them to safety within the town. Rynor, after much arguing with Pelor, is allowed to join Crunch on his journeys in the hopes of finding his daughter under the stipulation that if he is to start showing signs of the sickness, he will be banished from the city. So, the day has begun. To give you a little more of the setting, the town, while protected from the sickness, oh my god, what just happened? Oh, okay. The town, while protected from the sickness, has not been protected from the coming decay of the entire universe. The area, the whole world is prone to earthquakes. There have been many fault lines that have been created throughout the world that have created deep caverns where if you fall in, you don't see the bottom. You don't know how deep they go. Essentially, everything is beginning to crumble. It's getting to the point now where it's like it's beginning to crumble. Sorry, I have to check something really quick. So, Crunch, you, and one other warforged, Chirp, are the two that had survived Grotus's attack on the city. Many of its former citizens have perished. However, the two of you have gone out and found many survivors that have not yet shown signs of the sickness that you've been able to bring back into the fold of Aquavice and provide them with some sort of Jesus Christ, that music got so loud all of a sudden. Did it change at all?
No. Decides to pick up.
It's because suddenly you got louder again. So I will turn you down even more, and then eventually I won't be able to hear you, and I'll have to turn you all the way back up. You're almost completely muted. But anyway, yeah, so you, every day, you're, it completely threw me off. So you have now, between each sort of rescue mission, you're given a few days to recoup and sort of rest within the city. And Pelor has asked you today to come visit her to just to speak with her before you head out for your next venture into the ruins of Aquavice. But now it is morning time. It's raining, it's storming, there's thunder, there's lightning, all off in the distance, as if they're giving off a sort of impending doom. Not necessarily here yet, but it's on its way. And you both awake in your houses, or rather Crunch boots up in his house, and your morning begins in the dreary, gloomy world of Morditus. One last time.
That doesn't sound ominous at all. Okay, so yeah, I suppose I don my studded leather armor that I picked up from the ruins of the armor shop. Start getting ready and head out of my house, head toward the Lord.
Okay. We got someone to follow once you.
Oh, you live in the same place as me?
I mean, I assume I'm around. Yeah.
Okay. Finally awake. Yeah, finally awake. Feeling good. Excited to finally get to go out and look for it. You know, some of us need to rest. I'm getting old, man. I'm about a third of the way through my life.
Been alive.
Casey's like, what's that mean?
What does that mean?
Crunch is like, wait, what's that?
Decomposed?
Yes.
You're decomposing right now in front of you.
Yeah. Every day. All living things are. You love it. You try not to
He goes, that's gross.
Depressing by your standards.
But we try not to think about it.
Me and Ben are gonna live forever.
It's one of the things you just gotta ignore, and when it comes, you deal with it.
You might.
You're gonna have to deal with my dead body, I'm assuming, at some point.
I mean, use it to fertilize the next garden.
I was gonna say, at least you bury me, so.
I mean, you're also living in a universe that's about to implode and destroy everything in it.
Again, one of the things we don't think about as immortal.
So as you guys make your way to Pelor, you're looking around and you see some of the houses still destroyed from that day that Grotus attacked. You haven't found people to move into them, so you haven't found a reason to begin repairing them yet. But the tree in the center of the village where where Galdrin stood with your friends 20 years ago has withered, its branches falling off and dying. And you walk towards the temple of Pelor, once grand and beautiful, now sort of crumbling, having stood the test of time and many earthquakes that have cracked its stones and caused cave-ins of areas of the tower. You walk in and you see Pelor sitting. She's sitting in the area where her little garden once was, and she seems to be reminiscing about when the garden was still there and when the land was still beautiful. And she turns and sees you both, and she goes, "Oh, hello. I suppose you're heading out today."
Yeah, finally. Shit, about time.
Figured he's been whining long enough, might as well take him on one of my expeditions.
Whining! You're lucky I'm stuck here 90% of the time.
I mean, you had a pretty free opportunity to leave.
No, I don't think I did.
You're exhausting resources. That's what I've been trying to tell you. So
Oh, okay.
I'm trying to rebuild that. You're slow.
What?
How long does this decomposition process usually take for your people?
150 years. I'm 44, if that makes you feel any better. You're stuck with me for another 106 years. Hopefully. Who knows, I may live longer.
Whatever. I just go look for your dead daughter or something.
Dead dog! You're putting me down like this. She's alive. She's alive.
Whatever you have to tell yourself.
Okay, one of the things that us mortals have to do and keep ourselves going.
Will it shut you up if I give you the confidence and tell you that she's probably alive?
Yes.
Alright, let's go look.
Alright.
He knows she's alive.
Yeah.
We got all that information.
We knew she
20
was
years ago.
alive.
Yeah.
Oh, that's true. We knew she was alive 20 years ago, yeah. So Pelor just sort of smirks at the back and forth banter, sort of as if she as if she understands that this universe is on its last leg. It won't stand much longer, and she understands that her powers not only dwindling, but soon will be given up, and she will be returned to ash and dust, so that the new universe might be reborn. And she places her hands on both of your shoulders, and she says, "I am grateful that you were here to the end." And you feel a little bit of a warmth spread through your shoulder, Rynor. Crunch, you don't feel anything, but it's also happening to you. Warmth spreading through your shoulder and throughout your body. And you both have inspiration.
Also, Nick, real quick, can you hear the AC in the background?
I'm gonna be honest, I'm done worrying about audio at this point.
Okay.
I can hear the two of you talking. Every time you get quiet, I turn you up. Every time you get loud, I turn you down. So we'll just deal with it.
Oh, good.
And with that, she has had enough of your bickering, and she, by your shoulders, begins to spin you around, and she pushes you towards the exit to go on your way out into the wilderness.
Alright, Crunch, you've been out here. What direction do you normally headed that finds these people?
I usually just follow wherever Dent takes me. Dent! I'm gonna call Dent in.
Okay. Dent is going to start sniffing around, having known what to do, or knowing what to do after having done it multiple times. And though he can't smell anything, he does sort of have an innate sense of locations of sentient beings that he's been able to develop over the last 20 years. He's scanning. And suddenly he sort of looks forward, sort of looking north, and lifts up his right leg as if to point with his nose.
Okay, is that the direction?
Onward.
Okay, sounds good.
I'm gonna let Dent
Alright.
take point.
So Dent's walking in front,
Yes,
leading
Dent's
you?
walking in front. It's also important because he cannot be surprised.
Okay. Let's see. I forgot Dent's a bear.
Yep.
that makes the pointing funnier, because I definitely was thinking he was still a dog.
I like to think when I whistled for him, if I tried to, but since my lips are like rocks, it just came out like. He was just used to that noise, so it just came to it.
That's what I'm looking for.
So, you walk for a few hours, and don't really see much. Sorry, I'm trying to do this and do the. trying to do this and have the map set up at the same time. The audio issues really just kind of fucked that up, so. As you're walking, you've been walking for a few hours now at this point. And off in the distance, probably another mile or two away, you begin to see this sort of billowing smoke coming from sort of the northeast, directly where Dent is leading you to.
Smoke must mean at least some type of people. Creature.
Alive or dead? Yeah.
Type of intelligence, hopefully.
Worth checking out.
Sounds good.
Alright, then let's go.
And as you continue walking, and you get closer, you begin to hear the muffled sounds of someone screaming. Two people actually screaming for help. You begin to hear the screams of two people begging for help, and they're sort of muffled. And as you come up on this, what appears to be this small village where people once lived, you see some of the houses are burning up in flames, and that's the smoke from before. And the screaming is coming from inside one of the burning houses, but outside you see a multitude of ill trying to get in. And you're about right here.
I'm going to move up a bit, sneakily. And I will roll for that if you want me to.
Roll stealth with advantage, because they're stupid and preoccupied.
Thank God, because that first one was terrible. 17.
Okay. Go ahead and move.
I'm going to you. I need to be you. How many feet? I'm gonna move over to behind this rock.
Okay.
And I'm going to cast Enemies Abound on this one.
Okay, what does that do?
You reach into the mind of one creature you can see, forcing it to make an intelligence saving throw. The creature automatically succeeds if it is immune to being frightened. On a failed save, the target loses the ability to distinguish friend from foe regarding all creatures it sees as an enemy until the spell ends. Each time the target takes damage, it can repeat the saving throw, ending the effect on itself on a success.
Okay, and what save is that?
Wisdom?
Wisdom? What's your spell save? What'd you say it
14.
is? Okay, and it does... Sorry, it does what when he fails?
He just starts attacking everybody around him.
Alright, great. So this one is literally just going to turn off to the side right here. And he is just going to take a huge swipe with his scimitar at his pal. And that is going to hit. So... Sorry, not a scimitar, a steel sword. My bad. Okay. And as that begin to happen, this one's just sort of he takes a chunk of flesh out of his arm, and the other one turns to him and goes, "Ah! Ah!" And he's gonna take his sword and attack him now, and they're just gonna start duking it out. But he misses and just sort of swings off to the side. And I'm not gonna roll initiative for this. Casey.
Okay. Okay. I'm gonna go ahead and move on.
They don't currently know that you're there, just so you know.
Yeah, I'm also going to stealth. Did you roll with advantage or did you just get it?
I rolled with it.
Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and stealth. Do I need to go ahead and roll for that? Okay.
Yeah.
Which is it's with advantage.
Yeah.
11.
Okay.
But I'm still only gonna go 5, 10, 15. 35, 30. I'm gonna go right there. And then I'm gonna have
Okay.
Dinch also attempt to stealth where I am.
Okay.
Wait,
I'm gonna say since he's a bear, he's not gonna have advantage.
okay. Quick question though, can you take dash as a bonus action in itself?
I would allow it, but you'd have to roll stealth again.
Okay. Then I'm gonna go back and do that one. Is it still advantage? Okay. God damn it. I got another 11.
Okay.
So that would be. I'm gonna go right there. For Dent, I'm gonna attempt to do the same thing, and I don't have advantage on this. Okay.
Correct.
He got a 12. Plus something. Yeah.
Hopefully not minus.
No, it's a plus 1.
Okay.
He's gonna go 5. And then dash action, I'm gonna roll again. Nat 20. So that's 15 and then 30. Sorry. Where am I going to go? It's going right there. And that's gonna be it.
Okay. Alright, so, Rynor, what you see in front of you is this door right here is actually barricaded. And these ill seem to be trying to tear away at it to get at the people that are inside screaming for help. So this one is going to take... he is not currently using his sword. He's just beating on the door. But he's gonna take he's gonna swipe at the door. Okay. So he's just beating on that door right there. And this one right here is gonna do the same. Okay. Let me get a thing up really quick to track this. So these two have been beating on the door. These two are still attacking each other. So that hits with the steel sword. He actually takes off one of this guy's arms as this guy swipes back at him. But unfortunately, it was not his sword-wielding arm. And the guy swipes right back at him and also is able to remove his non-dominant arm. So they have now chopped an arm off of each other. And I'll go ahead and send it back to you, Rynor.
Alright,
You guys are extremely loud again. God damn it.
let's see. So,
Go
run.
ahead.
You,
I can.
do you have any way inside of the house?
I can get
We
in.
need to get those people out.
Is the house fully on fire, or is it just the cubes, Nick?
Just the AoEs.
Okay.
I pick up some calls for distraction.
I can get a back door. If there's a back door, I can go in the back door and bring them out the back and sneak them around.
Right up the front.
Right out the front?
Right up the front.
Always out the front? Okay. Well, see, the problem with that crunch is there's a bunch of people in front of the front door. Not for long. Okay, well, yeah, I guess with that information, I'm going to, just let them swing out on each other. And I'm gonna use... What do I want to use here? Let's go... That's too far away. Yeah, so we're gonna use... invisibility. I have that. I can change pressure to move. Okay, yeah, so I'm now invisible.
Okay.
Assuming it gives me advantage on my stealth checks. So I'm going to obviously stealthily go 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. And I will roll for that.
Is this a spell that you have or a
It's
potion?
a spell. It's not on my character sheet, it's on my little book.
On your spell book, okay. And it gives you advantage on stealth?
It doesn't say it gives me advantage, but I don't understand why. Wait, conditions. A visible creature is impossible to see without the aid of magic special sense. For the purpose of hiding the creature.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, they just can't see you. As long you still have to stealth. You still have to do a stealth check because they could hear noises that you make. But they can't see you at all. So I would say you're still rolling stealth with advantage.
Thank God again. Never mind. I got a 5 on my stealth.
Okay. And you're moving right there where you are.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. As you're walking past him, this one right here, he's very preoccupied with trying to bash in this door. He does hear a stick break, but when he turns to look, he sees nothing and just goes straight back to trying to bash in the door. Crunch.
Okay. So, first off, I'm going to go ahead and move the right out here. And then I'm going to search around. Are there any like pebbles around me? Like any rocks? Wreckage from a building I can pick up that's like small?
Yep.
Okay. I'll just say it's a rock or whatever. So I'm going to use magical tinkering. And I'm going to basically imbue it with a verbal message that plays on repeat. Okay? And so I'm going to whisper into the rock, you empty-headed animal, I fought in your general direction. Your mother was a hamster, and your father smelt of elderberries. Come and get me if you think you're fucking mad enough. And I'm going to cast Catapult.
Okay.
And I'm going to launch it over into the
You're launching it where?
into the bushes right above the house.
Okay, I see. Right in the middle of that sentence, you get super quiet, so.
Okay.
It's not you. It's not you. It's this stupid video system. We should all just like pay for Zoom. Pay for one like premium Zoom account that I can use to host unlimited meeting time stuff. That'd be great. Not have to deal with this shit. So yeah, it kind of. Let's see.
I'm gonna have to put this over.
Yeah, it sort of sets up over here, and a lot of them become confused and start heading towards it, and all of these guys are actually going to start moving towards it. And this one too. But these two are still just going at this door. And it looks like it's beginning to give way. The door does. It looks like it's beginning to splinter, and their hands are now, instead of just beating up against it, it appears that they're starting to sort of break into the door a little bit. Rynor.
Okay, what can I do to get Sorry, I'm trying to figure out what the hell I want to try and move. Okay, range is fine. That doesn't push them away. Okay, I'm gonna use. I'm going to use thaumaturgy here and cause harmless tremors in the ground for a minute, right? Like on this one without, yeah.
Okay.
See if I can't spook them away.
What's your spell save? 13?
14.
14. Yeah, I'll let you do it. So the ground begins to shake underneath them. And is that that's a cantrip,
Yep.
right? Does it say if it's verbal or not?
Thaumaturgy is verbal.
So go ahead and make a stealth check.
That's a 15.
Okay. Yeah. They feel the ground begin to shake underneath them. And that, mixed with all the flames and mixed with the screaming coming from over here, they give up on the door and they begin making their way over here. And every one of them is gonna move forward a little bit.
I'm gonna use a little bit of movement on my turn to just get me basically to the front door from where I am.
Okay. And from the inside, as they hear the beating on the door stop, you hear the screaming kind of stop, but you still hear muffled voices from inside the burning house.
Okay, can I still do something? Oh, whoops, whoops. Yeah.
No, sorry, Crunch.
So I'm gonna go ahead and. How far out is like the actual trunk of this tree? Like, can I go inside some of these? Okay.
Yeah.
I'm going to move towards Rynor as close as I can, hugging the tree. I'm assuming it's like.
And go ahead. You'll take a stealth check with advantage.
Okay. I'm going like right. Okay. Be right there.
What?
It's a 7.
That was with
Yes.
advantage? So go ahead and do Dent.
Okay. Yeah, he's doing the same thing, so.
Remember, he doesn't get advantage.
Okay, well, it's still a 17. Dent's a
Okay.
stealthy boy, man.
You can stealth wheel.
Yeah, for a big ass metal bear, yeah, he is. Unfortunately, you're a loud ass rock, and this guy hears you and turns around and starts heading towards you.
Rynor?
Uh,
Plan didn't work, brother.
and he's gonna take a swipe at you.
Okay.
But it's just gonna bounce right off
Also-
your rock
I was also
body.
going to say, one of the infusions that I have now is a shield, so my AC is actually 17 now.
I see it.
And it. Okay. So.
Yeah, he just bounced off your rock body.
Body.
Rynor.
Alright, so you said there's like started to be little holes in the door that you can see through?
No,
No?
it's just beginning to splinter.
Okay, is there anywhere I can see into the house?
There are windows.
Okay, so I'm going to peer through a window, I'm assuming I see one of the two people in there. I don't have to see what they look like, I'm just looking for a shape.
You see both of them standing next to one is standing, sort of kneeling at the other one's side, as the other one appears to be sort of sitting on the ground with their back up against the wall.
Okay. So since I can see them now through the window, I'm going to cast message and say to the one standing, "Hey, I'm here to help." And this is a persuasion roll I'm trying to get here. "Hey, I'm here to help. You need to let me in so we can get you out of here." Then she can respond.
Is that also verbal? Do you have to say that message out loud?
So you point your finger towards a creature within range and whisper a message. So yeah, I'm whispering.
Do stealth with advantage.
19 plus 3, 22.
Perfect. All right. They do hear you, and this one walks back up to the door, opens it, and ushers you inside very quickly, before closing the door again and barricading it again.
Good.
And as he as he gets you in, you see that he's sort of a bloodied up. Blah, blah, blah. They're both drow. He's sort of bloodied, and on top of sort of the darker skin, he looks like he's got a lot of ash on him. There's a lot of smoke in the room from the fires burning, and the other drow you see sitting on the floor has a leg that has been crudely severed at the knee, and then a rough makeshift tourniquet has been tied around her thigh. But it appears her skin is much paler than it should be. And she's sitting on the ground, sort of semi-conscious, and she's sitting in a pool of her own blood. And the male drow looks at you and he goes, "Please, you've got to help us. They bit a huge chunk out of her leg. Oh God, I had to cut it off just to save her, but I don't know if that's gonna be enough. She's bleeding out."
Alright, so I guess I'm gonna do a medicine check to see if it's actually, I guess, if she's infected. Yeah?
You don't get infected from being bit.
Okay. So, as far as...
It's a disease of the soul.
Okay, so...
You wouldn't think that she was infected.
Okay. So then as my bonus action, to try and help her out, I'm gonna do a healing word at level 1. Just like, it'll be alright. Deep breaths. We're gonna get you out of here. And that gives her 1d4 plus my spell mod, which is, I have no fucking idea. So, okay. So she gets 6 health back.
Okay, cool. And whereas before she was very delirious and it appeared that she wasn't even present, just conscious, she sort of looks up at you and she just kind of smiles and she goes, "Blueberries." Still totally out of it, but stabilized. And Crunch, we'll go back to you because you're being attacked.
Alright. Okay. I'm gonna go ahead and... Yeah, why not? I'm gonna go ahead and slice him with the spear.
Okay.
So that's gonna be a 23? No, 24? Yeah, 24. And so then I'm gonna do another, okay, I'm gonna do 8 damage to him. And then I'm gonna go for my extra attack. So that is a 20, not natural.
Okay.
And then another 8 damage.
Alright. And Dent.
Dent is gonna move up with me. And he's going to use... He's gonna go for the bite. So it's gonna be an 8. Yeah.
8. So, as he goes and lunges for the bite, the ill is able to sort of with his sword hand, backhand Dent's face away. Dent's gonna take 3 bludgeoning damage, and then on the backswing of the sword, he's gonna go after you, but it's again gonna bounce off your rock body.
Alright.
Back to Rynor.
Alright. So I'm gonna look over at the one and just, can you walk? Can you move? Like, if we can get you, can you move? Like, if your friend helps you, can you move?
She's gonna look at you again and she's just gonna go, "Your eyes are blueberries."
I don't have any blueberries. We need you to walk. Can you help your friend walk?
And he looks at you. Yes, of course. And he goes over and he he grabs her arm to sort of to throw it over his shoulder, and he says, "Come on, Arnok, we have to move. We have to move now, or else you're going to die." And he sort of picks her up, and she goes, "His eyes are blueberries," and they are able to walk towards you, slowly, as the male drow is comforting her and saying, yes, his eyes are blueberries, but there will be more blueberries where we're going.
Alright, I'm gonna peer out of the window and just check the situation of what's going on outside.
You see Crunch and Dent absolutely demolishing an ill, while the others have actually completely forgotten about the situation and have just kind of wandered off due to the silence and the confusion.
Alright, sounds good. So I'm gonna de-barricade the door and step outside. Gesture, slowly follow me. I'm gonna go outside and gesture for them to follow.
Okay. And they will, in fact, do such a thing. Albeit slowly, they are following behind you. Crunch.
Okay. I guess we're just gonna try and finish them off real quick. I'm going to hit him with the good old firebolt cantrip.
Oh.
So that is a 26.
Okay.
And then he's going to take 18 damage.
You incinerate him. You cast this spell and it just engulfs him in flames. He goes, "Ah!" Just like this disgustingly blood-curdling scream as his body just turns to ash in a pile in front
I'm
of
going
him.
to look back at Rynor and say, leave no evidence, and then run away.
Holy shit. Okay, well, the rock, I'm gonna look over at the other two and be like, the rock and the metal bear you just saw running away is technically our party lead, so we need to move quickly and catch up with him.
Okay then, we'll follow as fast as we can. And she's still just going, blueberries, it's ours are blueberries. Totally out of it. So you guys head off, start the journey back towards Aquavice, and on your way, walking back, the male begins to strike up a conversation with you, and he goes, thank you so much for saving us. I thought for sure we were going to be dead. My name's Tarson, by the way. This is Arnok. She's very she's normally not this out of it, but she has lost a lot of blood. She goes, blueberries. I don't know where she gets blueberries from. I don't even think your eyes are blue. They're black.
Yeah.
It is very interesting, though, to see another tiefling within the week.
Another?
There's not many of them.
Did you say another?
Yes, I thought maybe you had seen her.
Her?
They're not very common. I assumed that they were together.
I'm gonna grab him by his shirt and just be like, where was she?
Calm down. I'll tell you. You don't have to threaten me. That she was younger than you. She passed through a few days ago. She was asking if we knew anything about the mountains of Gwyn. She seemed to be looking for someone or something.
That was a Gwyn. That was so long ago. God, Crunch. There's another tiefling, younger. I don't know if it's a possibility, but I've got to check.
What do you know? She might be alive.
Literally confirmed by the gods that she's alive, and Crunch is like,
20 years ago,
she is.
yeah.
There's a small chance that she
Small
is.
chance.
Crunch.
Does she have any useful skills?
12 when I lost her.
Will she be a benefit of the settlement?
I'm assuming if she's out here living on her own, she can probably kick some ass.
Fair point. Let's go find this girl.
So I'm gonna real quick sit down and use the fucking frisbee that I got from our good boy, not Valen. What's Austin's character? But is Valen? Oh, I'm gonna use the little frisbee that I got from Valen at the Astromancy Archive, and ritually cast locate creature and try and give us a heading.
Pretty sure that only works within 30
I think it's
feet.
within 1,000.
I can tell you you're more than 1,000 feet away from the mountains of Gwyn.
Well, I figured that, but
And she was there a few days
Oh.
ago. Also, I think we realized after the session that you actually can't use the Astromancy Archive.
what is the requirement for it?
Do you have it in your inventory?
No, but it was given to me.
Let me read it.
Brass disc.
Functions as a spellbook. Yeah, you have to attune to it. It requires attunement by a wizard. So yeah, he gave it to you, and then after the fact, we realized that you actually can't.
Oh, I can attune things.
You have to. You're not a wizard.
I'm an art. Well,
You have to. It requires attunement by a wizard.
I was gonna say it's like one of my.
It's a different type of magic.
Okay, so then we're gonna say I try and use it, and
For the first time in 20 years, you're like, Balin, my old pal, thank you. And you try and cast it, it doesn't work.
it doesn't work until I get frustrated and I hand it to Crunch and say, "You're always throwing that fucking stupid wooden stick to the damn bear. Why not throw this frisbee to him instead?"
I'm about to throw you to the bear.
Hey,
Just saying you get the exercise.
I'm gonna give him the Astromancy Archive as plaything.
I'll see what I can do with it. Yeah, I can't do shit with this.
It's okay. I'm talking about frisbee, my friend.
Okay.
It's under 5 pounds, so I'm sure you could launch that bitch.
Man. So you're sitting. You just stopped carrying your refugees back to the place you were promising them safety.
I mean,
to?
I sat down to try it, and then it didn't work, and so I got back up, handed it to Crunch.
Leaving the fucking time. You got what you needed.
Just be like, sorry guys, we got other stuff to do. I'm sorry.
So yeah, I guess you...
It's nothing personal. You just slit their throats. Give them a quick death.
Well, when we had to take a boat to get from the mountains of Gwyn to here. So the last boat I saw was the one we rode here 20 years ago.
I'll give you some of your surroundings. You're to the west of the mountains of Gwyn right now.
Oh.
You've done a full 360 around the world.
Okay.
You were traveling east almost the entire campaign.
What if? Hear me out.
Okay.
We go through.
Through?
Mm-hmm.
You're gonna dig a tunnel all the way through the ground?
I mean, it might take a minute.
A minute? I only got 106 years roughly.
It sucks for you, man.
My daughter only got... I don't know, she's only got like... Fuck. 116?
Oh, you wanted to find her alive?
Yes, I would prefer to find her alive. Both parties.
Oh, okay. Not complicated.
Why would I want to find my dead daughter?
I mean, I don't know. Closure? Something.
As you're bickering, Tarson looks at the two of you. No, Siri, that was not you. That was Tarson. As Tarson's listening to the bickering, he goes, "You know, you can just walk through the mountains of Gwyn, right? It's not just a wall of rock, unclimbable and untravelable, right?"
No, we've been stuck in this town for the last 20 years, not being able to do anything. Except him, he can go out and do whatever the fuck he wants.
That's right.
Anyway, it's not like a prison camp. I wasn't a prisoner. I promise this is a good area to go to.
The prisoners at least, contribute. Have to do some labor. You just kind of sit around a lot of the time.
I provide entertainment at the tavern every night. I don't know what you mean. People come from
Anyway,
all over the world.
What do you mean there's a passage?
Well, it's again, it's a mountain. You can climb and hike through mountains. It's not just a large rock formation that's impassable.
You know, his heart is though.
Crunch is like, what's hard?
I mean, yeah, what's a heart?
What is
What the
that?
fuck keeps you alive? I need to dissect you and figure out what the fuck you are.
Dissect me.
Yes.
No, this is simple.
This is Tarzan speaking. He goes, "Can we keep going? I think Arnok needs to rest in a good, safe space. And it's beginning to get dark."
You should be happy with the dark. You're drow. You like the dark. But yeah, no.
I'm sorry, demon. Okay. I'm sorry that I don't want to be attacked by more ill, demon.
It's fine. We'll keep going.
Alright, so you guys are able to get back to the camp, or get back to the village safely. Pelor greets you sort of where the warding ends. She's standing on the inside of it. You didn't notice this before, but now that she's standing and the lighting isn't as perfect as it is in her temple, she does seem to be more frail and weak, maybe even more so than she was this morning. And she goes, "I see you've brought 2 new people. We can take them to the inn, and I'm sure you know how to assemble a prosthetic for her to wear on her amputated leg."
No, dude, I paid for this thing forever ago. I have no idea how the fuck it works.
And she turns and looks at you and she's like, "I wasn't talking to you." She turns back to Crunch. He goes, Can you construct a prosthetic leg for this woman?"
I'm not gonna lie to you, I'm the wrong subclass for that, but
I believe that the gods would allow it for the sake of progressing the story without further issues.
Okay, let me go meet up with Chirp and I'll see what I can do.
Wrong subclass.
Dude, if you pick the armor, that's literally one of the things. It's like you make armor that can count as like limbs.
I just assumed that since you could tinker and build stuff, I thought you could build it.
Yeah. Okay, so I guess I'm gonna go take it to church. Take her to church, I guess. What?
And I'll take him to the bar.
How long do you want this part to go on?
Well, Crunch is gonna take Tarzan and Arnok to Chirp to begin working on her prosthetic and allowing her to rest. And Rynor, you've been left with Pelor. And she looks at you and she goes, "I let you out to go find your daughter and you come back empty-handed."
I'm not actually in. I'm still standing at the end of the, outside of the force field.
But she can still speak
no,
to
but
you.
I'm just saying.
It's not a force field, it's just like where the wording...
Very enough, yeah.
It's not something visual.
I just want to make that a clear point for my next statement.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'm standing outside of the warding still, and I said, "I haven't come back yet, and she's out there. The 2 of them just gave me information saying that she was in the mountains of Gwyn, and with your permission, I even without your permission, I need to go. I have to go try and see if she's there. This is just something I have to do."
Of course I'm gonna let you go. I couldn't stop you even if I tried. But You literally gave away your one opportunity to survive this collapsing universe, to find her.
That's fine. She's more important, and if I can get her back here, will you take her in?
As long as she's not sick.
I suppose Crunch knows a little bit better, so I should probably wait to head out until he gets available and see if I can't persuade him to join me as one last hurrah.
He's looking at
No,
you like,
you-
you're gonna say something? He's like, I'm literally not even anywhere
I
near
go
you.
to you eventually, and like, I'm assuming I'm gonna wait until after you fixed her prosthetic to go and approach you about this.
Pillar looks at you and she says, "Come back to the village and take a rest. Leave in the morning."
All right, I can do that. I guess I walk back into the town and go to my typical tavern that we have, and I do my nightly performance, drawing crowds in that Crunch never.
Crowds of 3 people, 4 people max.
It's crowds in these days.
Because everyone else is dead. That is true. 3 to 4 people is a crowd
In these days,
in
crowd.
this universe. Yeah. Okay. So you play your shows for the night. Crunch is able to put together a prosthetic. Arnok and Tarson get some much needed rest as they're welcomed into the village. You both can take a long rest. And not that you really need it, but
I mean, I spent a couple of slots
yeah,
there.
you did. You did cast a couple spell slots, that's true. But you was invisibility on the Astromancy archive?
It's in me.
Oh, okay. I was about to say, you got real lucky. I forgot about that until just
It is in.
So yeah, you guys can take a long rest, and you wake up in your respective locations the next morning.
I'm immediately going to find the 2 people we just found, because I want to see if I can't get any more information out of them about maybe current, appearance of this other thing.
Okay. So you head to the inn where you know that new people are taken in, and as you enter, you see them eating some sort of stew for breakfast, sitting around a fire. Arnok still looks pale, and Tarson is having to feed her because she's very fragile and shaking still, but she looks a lot better. A lot of her color has come back, even though she is still pale. They both see you when they walk in, and Tarson looks at you and he says, "Thank you. Thank you so much for saving her. I don't know what I would have done if that was really where it ended for us." And Arnok looks at you and she goes, "Yes, thank you. I really thought I was gonna die."
So you can speak now? You're just not going to say blueberries? That's all you said yesterday. And what's blueberries about?
I don't know. I don't remember saying that at all.
Okay, what can you tell me about this other tiefling that you mentioned yesterday? I need literally anything descriptive you've got.
Tarson begins to talk and he says, "Well, she looked a lot like you. She had a few different features, though. Her skin was more pale than yours, and she didn't have those horrendous solid black eyes. She had blue eyes as if they were humans. She was just asking for general directions towards the mountains of Gwyn, said that she had to go find something there.
Rynor starts to tear up when he hears the human blue eyes thing, because that's a very rare feat that his daughter had, or feature that his daughter had. So she was going to the mountains of Gwyn. Was she by herself?
I believe so, yes.
This is great news. Thank you. I can't thank you enough. I just hand them all of my worthless gold.
Okay.
I know this means nothing, but like, it's the only thing I can think to give to you.
And they look at it, and they go, "You saved our lives. That's all we could ask for."
With this information, I need to go and find Crunch and see if he can give me any information on traveling, or maybe if he'll even come with me to try and find her. This will be the last time we ever meet, but I wish you all the luck in this hellhole that we call Earth. Mordare.
What is Earth? Morditus.
But in this hellhole we call Morditus. And I leave, go and find Crunch.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah. What's up?
What are you doing?
Huh?
What are you doing?
I'm playing fetch with Din.
You're playing fetch? You're using the frisbee.
No,
I gave you that frisbee to use. What did you do with it?
I kept it safe.
Okay.
I don't want Din chewing on this just yet.
Well, okay. Fair. So the two we rescued yesterday, they gave me information that I can't believe I say it. I think it's my daughter. I think it's her. Like, they explained something that could just about only be her. And I know it's a lot to ask of you. You've got a good deal going here, but for old time's sake, we took down the mountains of Gwyn once. I think we can do it again.
Okay.
Okay. Okay.
I saw the smirk on your face, and I knew that's what I knew it. You were just looking at him smirking. I was like, he's literally just about to look.
Okay.
All right.
So with that, again, Rynor looks.
You saw how many of them fuckers we had to fight or avoid fighting yesterday?
Yeah, avoid fighting. It is what it is.
Said your daughter kicks ass. We need ass kickers. So.
Rynor looks just as shocked at his okay as I was. You agreed so fast. Okay, I guess, do we need to...
Yeah, I've seen a little bit of a glint in Din's eyes lately. I think he needs to do something to throw it out pretty soon, or he's gonna...
Okay, cool.
Might need a software update. I don't know.
Okay. So do we need to talk to this is, I've only ever gone out once. Do we need to talk to Paler again before we leave?
No, we're good.
Or we just did?
I'm already packed in.
Okay. Let's go.
Okay.
So yeah, we.
So like right now?
Yeah. Like right now, I'm like kind of in a rush. I haven't seen her in. Oh my god, it's been.
Yeah, I don't really care. All right, let's go.
25 years.
I don't really care. Let's just go.
Okay.
All right, so you guys start heading out, and you travel. You travel for days, heading west to find any trace of your daughter. And as you see the mountains off in the distance, you notice that they aren't as large as they once were. And you attribute it to erosion and, the utter decay of the universe that I keep emphasizing.
Goddamn global warming.
And you travel for days and days and days, and you don't see anyone, no wildlife. Hopefully you packed food, so you ain't finding any out here. All of the trees appear to be dead. many caverns in the ground that just go forever. They look like a bottomless pit, an endless abyss. But finally, after 4-ish days of traveling, you get to the mountains of Gwyn. And in front of you there are 3 different paths that are not clearly taking you in different directions, but there appear to be 3 different ways that you can begin to hike through the mountains.
Man, but which way do you think we should go? I mean, she was aggressive, so she probably would have. She always liked to take the most difficult route to get to anything. So I don't know. Maybe she's changed in that time, but
I think in this instance we're gonna have to follow whatever that thing is y'all call instincts.
instincts.
That can only get us so far.
So I guess let me roll a perception check and see which path looks the most or varying levels of difficulty.
Well, I can tell you right off the bat, it's the middle one.
Well then,
So it's not necessarily like 3 beaten paths. It's just like, here's a way that we could like begin to hike up these rocks on the mountain. Here's another way we could hike up, and it's less steep. And then right in the center, there appears to be a path, but there are multiple areas where the path has sort of caved in, and so there's like a gap, like 3 to 5 foot gaps that you would have to jump over or like climb on the side of the wall. And that's the middle one.
Didn't those people that we saved the other day, didn't they say that she was looking for the mountains though?
she was looking for the mountains. They asked for directions. So we're at the mountains. All 3 paths lead up the mountain.
No.
Do you have anything that could help us get over that those gaps there?
Not really.
Neither do I. But that if I know my baby girl, she would have taken that path.
Okay.
We could take one of the other paths if you think.
Can we not go around the cave-ins?
I think so, but
No, so it's like, how do I explain it? It's like it's like there's the mountain, and then there's like a little path on the side of the mountain, and then sometimes that path is like fallen through. So one way you've got the mountain on the side, and the other way you've got a like 1,000-foot drop.
okay.
Okay.
So I mean, we could take another route, but that's I'm all for the party vote here.
Party vote of 2 people.
There's 3.
One of which has already voted to go one way, and if the other one doesn't agree, then it's a tie.
Dent gets a vote.
Casey also votes for Dent, which
Yeah.
Okay.
Does that not have a good jump?
No. I'm assuming these things are like pretty big.
he's a fucking metal bear.
It weighs like 2 tons. Catapult can only lift like 10 pounds.
You can climb into the bag of holding.
If you feel as though there's a way we can...
You can't climb to the bag of holding.
He is well over 500
He
pounds.
might actually not be. I think there's a weight.
You can find a weight, and he's under the weight about.
Well, he's a medium-sized creature.
That doesn't mean anything, because you're also a medium-sized creature.
How much do you weigh?
I weigh... I weigh almost 300 pounds.
Well, I can put you in the bag.
Adult black bears can weigh up to 600 pounds.
metal one's probably a little bit more.
Yeah, I'm gonna say that he cannot be held in the bag of
That's
holding.
fair. No. Okay.
I'm trying to think.
What are the other paths?
Not as treacherous.
Not a stretcher. Why don't we take like a nice medium treachery?
Medium treachery.
Medium treachery.
You know, honestly, that I could see her taking that too. Hopefully
Yeah.
she's matured and calmed down a little bit in her older age.
That's what I'm thinking.
Hell, she could even have taken the least treacherous, you know, rebelling as a teen.
Man.
Medium treachery.
This don't make some kind of stupid decisions at that age.
Yeah.
Let's go down. Let's go down the medium.
Okay. Sounds good.
Okay, we're gonna head down.
Okay, so you guys take the path to the left and you start hiking up through the mountains. What?
Let's just take the medium.
That one looks easy. That one looks impossible. Let's go with this one. So you guys start hiking up through the mountains, and after probably 5 or 6 hours of hiking, the sun is beginning to set. Off in the distance, probably another mile away from you, you see the soft glow of what might be a campfire. It is further down towards like a valley, and it appears that if you had taken the middle path, it would have led straight to it. However, now you've got another mile. It's kind of downhill, and the rocks and stone appear to be possibly loose.
So is it like a hillside leading to this valley, or is it like a cliff edge leading to this valley?
It's not a cliff, but it's not a hill. It's just the side of a mountain.
So something I could like.
I'm gonna go ahead.
Is there something I could cast feather falling on us, and we could just pretty much jump down the side of this mountain?
No,
Oh, okay.
it's not a straight drop off.
Right.
It's just like the side of a mountain where you would hike down, but it appears that some of the rocks might be unstable. But you just
Alright, well, I'm gonna take point on this.
You take point on this. This is why I brought you.
Yep. I say we just proceed with caution.
Okay.
I have a plan if something gives away.
Okay. Sounds good.
Alright.
Okay. Start moving down towards
So-
the campfire.
Yep.
Or the glow of fire.
all right. Possible fire. Thank you very much. So you start walking down, or hiking down towards the thing, and you make it about a quarter of a mile down. You're sort of serpentining down, and Dent takes a step, or not Dent. Crunch takes it. Well,
I'm taking point. I'm in front.
I know. I mean, you're not all following in the exact same footsteps. Let me see. Well, actually, let me roll this one. So, yeah, Crunch takes a step onto a part of the surface that he's walking on, and it just sort of caves in. Crunch, go ahead and make a dex
I'm
save.
actually going to use my boots of the winding path to teleport me back 15 feet to where I was prior to falling.
Okay, you teleport back, and suddenly you have like fallen back onto Rynor, and both of you like fall over.
Hello!
That's why I took point.
Okay. Sounds good. We could have just feather fall.
And tumble down? No. That's not how we did it.
How many times can you do that? When did you be able to do
As
that?
much as I want.
Since when can you do that?
Since I made these neat boots.
Oh. You know how useful that could have been in the sand?
We don't talk about the sand. Fine. We never talk about the sand.
Alright. So I
Shakes his arm and a little bit of sand falls out of one of the joints.
You're still a little bit gritty on the arms from where the sand was like molding in with your body. So you make it another quarter of the mile, perfectly fine. Oh wait, no, I rolled that wrong. Another quarter of a mile, and Crunch once again steps on a part of the path, and it completely caves in and he begins falling. But of course, he's gonna use his boots, I assume, so he's just gonna go right back 15 feet and be fine again. And you guys continue on, and this really fucked up with part of my plan for the one shot. The third quarter of the mile, you're perfectly fine, and the last part of the mile is more of just a trail as you've gotten into the valley, and you walk up towards. You hear sort of the crackling of a campfire off in the distance, and as you're walking up to it, suddenly Rynor, you so sorry. Suddenly Rynor, you feel someone sort of, they slip their arm. This all happens very quickly, like under a second. They slip their arm underneath one of your, they slip a hand underneath one of your arms and sort of wrap it around your shoulder onto the back of your head, and the other one holds a blade up to your throat that appears to be made out of some sort of black stone. And she says to the both of you, or the voice says to both of you, "Who the fuck are you?"
So is it my left arm that this person has pinned up?
Yes.
I'm gonna just drop my arm and just slide out, and I will happily roll a dexterity roll to slide out. I'm assuming
You can do that, but she's got the knife up against your throat, so you're gonna take damage if you do that. Whether she cuts you or you cut yourself, it's gonna happen.
Okay, I'm going to cast catapult. Wait, hold on. I don't know if I can actually.
catapults the knife into my neck.
Never mind, just carrying it. I can't. No, it's.
Let's see if I can do anything. You said it's a rock?
No, it's a dagger
I thought you said it was a block.
made out of some sort of black rock.
Made out of black rock. Yeah. So there's no metal on it?
There's no metal, but it's still very sharp and against your throat.
I know what you're doing.
That's gonna heat metal, but yeah.
You're gonna heat metal and melt it into your
Yeah, more or
throat.
less. I'm going.
Just the hill.
Just the hill. Well, yeah, fuck. Then I'll just. Oh, whoa. Hold up. My name is Rynor. This is Crunch in front of me, the one that looks like a giant stone wall and has no feelings or emotions.
Right.
See?
And before you can even finish, as soon as she hears you say Rynor, you feel the tension sort of ease, and then the blade slowly comes off of your skin on your throat, and then she sort of drops it, and just stands behind you and says, "What did you say your name is?"
I'm assuming I'm more than free to move at this point.
Yeah, she's not.
Okay, so I'm gonna take a couple steps forward, turn around. I'm Rynor.
And as you turn around, you see a more pale tiefling female, younger, with bright blue eyes that appear to be watering up as she looks at you silently.
So I
And she just looks at you and she goes, "Daddy?" No, she does not say that.
Whoa! Whoa!
"Daddy?"
I mean, he is a bar.
Joke's on you, it wasn't actually his daughter, it was his sex slave. Very, very active BDSM life.
I am the last hole in his hands.
Alright, I'm gonna just absolutely zero in the world does not matter on these bright blue eyes and just Krisha? Is that you? Is that and I start to tear up and freak out.
She runs and gives you a hug.
I hug her back, obviously. Oh my god.
Yeah.
Oh my god, and you've grown so big. You're your own woman now. I can't. Oh my. I'm so sorry I lost you. I'm so sorry it's taken so long to find you.
She leads you after saying your hellos, crying some tears. Crunch probably went and played fetch with Dent because he's like,
No,
all right.
Yeah.
Yeah, no idea what's going on. She leads you back to the fire and you all sit around it. She begins talking and asking where you've been for the last 20 years, what you've been doing.
You know, cat helping God.
Wait, so that was you then? That came to the mountains of Gwyn and survived?
Yes, it was many moons ago.
Well, word does travel slow, but it was the only lead I had. I heard of adventurers going into the mountains and coming back alive, and I thought there's only one person I know stupid enough to attempt that.
Now, little girl, you shouldn't be calling your father stupid. But yes, you are right. I was dumb enough to do this, and I succeeded.
Sounds like a pretty fitting analysis to me.
You were there too.
Perhaps you were part of that situation.
I mean,
I'm pretty sure you were the one who took point on that too.
also was on a farm for 920 something years.
Yeah.
Got poor.
A few thousand. You forgot how to count. You lost count.
No, Crunch is 920.
Oh no, you're right. My bad.
No, 958.
Yeah, the war started a few thousand years ago. You weren't made at the beginning of the war.
But I finished it.
You think?
She begins to give you a whole spiel as you go back and forth about what you've been doing for the last 25 years. She starts all the way back at the beginning after she was captured, taken away from you. And I didn't look at your backstory to make sure that all of this was accurate to what information you provided me, so if anything doesn't add up to what you said, just deal with it, because I was doing this while I was at work, doing like 3 other things today. But she, sitting around the fire, she begins to tell you sort of what she's been doing, and she says, after months of agony and torture, I was... Nope. Sorry. She's explaining to you that after she was captured, she was taken back to the camp of the people that raided your village, and there she was used as a sex slave, just sort of being abused and raped multiple times a day by pretty much anybody. They kept her in a cage. And she didn't even know if you were alive. And she says, after months of agony and torture, I was approached by a raven, didn't seem to be an ordinary raven, though. It seemed to be watching me and studying me. Then it flew away, and I thought nothing of it for a few more months. Then I began having these dreams, these awful, wonderful dreams. The raven had returned and granted me powers from the shadows in the way of daggers smithed from a sharp and shimmering black stone. I slaughtered the men of the camp. After I had finished what I had set out to do, the bird took on the appearance of a human, a beautiful woman draped in the feathers of a raven. She told me that my time had come. I had set out to avenge my lost father. Therefore, in return, I now owed her my soul, which I gladly handed over. They felt so real. I wanted to believe them so badly. Then one morning I awoke to the sound of the raven pecking against the iron bars of the cage they kept me in, and as I sat up to get a better look, she transformed into the same beautiful woman I saw in my dreams, draped in the feathers of the bird. She spoke to me, explaining that I could be granted those powers to avenge my dead father, as long as I promised that in return I would provide her with my soul for her collection. I agreed, and I was given the daggers, and she sort of nods to the stone daggers that are in her hands. As long as I promised that in return I would provide her with my soul. Nope. Provided with the daggers from my dream as well. She told me that she was the Raven Queen, and that after I had finished with the group I was with, there would be more to the east of the mountains of Gwyn. But as long as I marked my victims with the symbol of a bloodied raven's claw, the queen would heal me of any wounds or afflictions I had. Before I could find the other party, however, I heard of adventurers who had ventured into the mountains and had survived. I thought only you would be stupid enough to do something like that. So I set out to venture towards a small village that I had heard existed just to the east of the mountains. I knew that the queen was wrong, that you were still alive. I felt it, and I felt it inside of me. That's when my mission changed. I was no longer out to seek revenge. I was out to find you. I would give you a proper goodbye before resolving my agreement with the Raven Queen.
Proper? What do you mean proper goodbye? I just got you back. I can't lose you again.
I made a deal. She offered me powers, and in return, once I had completed my task, I would go with her. Now here we are. I've found you, and I don't want to go anymore. I've felt so empty. I felt so empty for so long. But knowing you're alive, that this disease didn't kill you, and neither did those horrible people, I don't want to die anymore.
Those people did their damnedest, I'll tell you that. And I pop off the left arm and just kind of see, typical dad trying to break the tension with the awkwardness. Look.
You're bombing.
Crunch is rock. You're doing terrible. Look, me and Crunch here, we played a huge part in killing off a major god. I think we can probably persuade, and if not persuade, move a little farther with this girl to maybe even trade a soul for a soul or something. I don't know. Is there any way you can contact this god and we can talk with them?
She is no god. She just is. I have no way of contacting her, though. She only appears when she wants to.
Maybe, Crunch, what do you think if we You think if we took her back to Palor, she would be able to, I don't know, maybe provide us some insight on what's going on or some sort of solution for this?
Rynor, do you think I could have a quick sidebar with you for a moment?
Yeah, sure, buddy. I cast message so that we can talk to each other without having to leave.
Okay,
Yeah,
so I'm just stare you in the face.
We're literally just staring at each other across the campfire.
I'm just going to, buddy, I don't know if we should take her back to the camp.
What do you mean we shouldn't take her back to the camp?
I mean, we've been together for a while. I know it was a long time ago, but if you remember, some of our older party members had affiliations with otherworldly beings.
Yes.
Things did not go smoothly.
I mean, we did have to kill the one. But the other one, we didn't have to kill. He just got bit by a Rynor ass. Albeit a little one. He was still okay, though. He was like a good party member. Good person.
I'm gonna give it to you straight. Been doing a lot of rebuilding. It's kind of like my thing.
Buddy, I know.
I'll take your daughter back. She does some shit.
Threatening my daughter, Crunch?
No, not right now.
Not this current.
I'm just doing a cost-benefit analysis here.
Crunch!
I'm just saying.
You can't tell me you haven't enjoyed me being around.
I mean, you did kind of, you take it, you know. I'm just saying, I hope you didn't waste it, because your daughter's giving me some shady kind of.
Shady. She's not shady. Whatever the hell's got her,
Who
this
is it that
contract.
this god is telling her to go out and find?
Yeah, so I guess I look over at her. Who are you still under the contract to kill these people?
No, my mission changed.
Okay, I'm gonna do a check on that.
Well,
I'm gonna do a check on that.
Wants to see if she's lying, I guess?
Yeah, I want to see if she's telling the truth.
okay. Trying to remember what that is.
Perception.
Insight.
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 Okay. I got 12.
Do you not have? You do have inspiration.
You have to. You can't use inspiration
Yeah.
after you roll. I think.
Oh.
I did.
It's not like bardic inspiration where you can add it at any point.
Ah.
I mean, she's not lying, as far as you can tell. There are no tells that she's lying. It adds up with the story that she told previously.
Okay. I'm. Okay. Yeah, there's nothing I can really do.
Well, jeez. You have no emotions and no heart. I think we take her back to Palor, and maybe we don't bring her to the city immediately, but we get some insight and some information, and maybe Palor can give us some more something. Maybe she knows she was a god. Maybe she knows of this raven lady that my daughter keeps talking about. And if it comes down to it, you can kill me. I'll let you kill me.
I mean, I don't need your permission. We've been over this.
I think you would.
Okay.
I do have a lot of spells to leave areas.
Alright.
So yeah, I guess I look back at my daughter and I say, look, there's a town. I can't be in there anymore, but it's a safe haven for the people of this world, and it protects you from getting the sickness a little bit. But there's a sort of god there that is protecting people and whatnot, and I want you to talk to her and see what we can figure out. Will you come back with us?
I'll try. I'll try anything to try and get out of this deal.
We'll take her back, Crunch. Maybe not bring her in, but we'll take her back.
I mean, can we at least have her kill something and leave the mark and see if...
I mean, yeah, if you want her to kill something, I'm sure she'll be obliged. And I like look over. How do
I'm
you
gonna
feel
look at her
about
and
killing things?
Yeah, I'm gonna look at her and go, how do you feel about the mayor?
And she looks at the two of you and she goes, "You're the only two here."
Well, I mean, there's that too. You can rebuild then.
No, I'm not doing that.
Well, I mean,
Okay.
we can find somebody along the way. It's a long travel.
Goblins.
Yeah, there's a long way along the travel.
Okay. I say we just go ahead and start making our way back to the camp.
Yeah, in the morning, just rest there, and then in the morning go back.
I'm good now.
It's nighttime.
Okay.
You're gonna be exhausted. You're gonna roll disadvantage with everything.
I am?
Literally.
I will. Casey won't.
I'm also very...
Casey doesn't get exhausted.
I don't think you're immune to exhaustion.
No, not if it's like physical things, but not from sleep.
You still have to take long rests.
Do
Yeah. You don't sleep, but you still have to take long rests, I'm pretty sure.
You don't need to eat, drink, or breathe. You don't need to sleep. And magic can't put you to sleep.
While they may not need to sleep, they can get fatigued.
So look, we head out in the morning.
Fine. Okay.
She's obviously pretty perceptive if she was able to get us while we were cautiously moving.
That's what scares me.
It's okay. She wouldn't kill me. She had the chance to. You're a rock. It's gonna be a lot harder for you to kill her, for her to kill you. You'll be fine.
Okay.
Yeah, I guess we long rest.
Not that you're
Yeah.
gonna do it, but yeah. Okay. So the next morning comes, you all awake. You start heading back. She starts going back the way that she came, which you are both aware that Dent and Crunch cannot achieve.
Yeah, no, hey, honey, your old man, he's got a bad hip. Let's go this little easier route. And the big bear can't really jump either. You know, we should probably just a little less rambunctious. I know you're always out there trying to prove yourself, even as a young girl. You're always more aggressive than I, but let's maybe take the little easier route.
She looks disappointed, but she starts following you guys as you make your way back, back through the trails that you once were, or that you went through on the day before, and you travel. You travel pretty much all the way back without running into anything. Very unscathed. As you grow closer, or as you get closer to, excuse me, as you get closer to where the, hang on, sorry. As you get closer to the village, you start to feel that something's off, and the closer you get, the more off things feel. Where you used to getting closer would hear the sort of the radiance, or you would feel the sort of the radiance of the wards pushing off the darkness surrounding the world. You don't feel that as you get closer, and as a matter of fact, you begin to feel sort of more empty, Rynor. Crunch doesn't feel any of this. You begin to feel a little bit more empty, a little more hopeless, as if all of the joy of even just finding your daughter alive is slowly being drained out of you. And you come over a hill that normally allows for a rather decent view of the village off in the distance. And you see small little pillars of smoke coming up from inside the village. It appears that all of the houses have been destroyed. And even though you're far off in the distance, you can see little specks on the ground of people that have been murdered.
Crunch, we need to get there now. We need to see what happened. We need to see what's going on. Calm down. This is not okay.
For the first time ever, you were going to see a slight bit of frustration in front of his eyes.
Because this is the second time that the thing that he has built up has been absolutely destroyed. Decimated.
I'm just gonna go. Where's check?
We gotta go.
So you start making your way in, and you see, as you're walking in, you see dead bodies all over the ground. Underneath the tree where Galdrin once stood, you find Pelor dead on the ground, shriveled and decaying. And as you continue to walk through, you make your way all the way through the camp, not finding a single person still living. And as you pass by off to one side, Crunch, you notice pieces of chirp on the ground, scattered, as if they were just rocks, set in the terrain. You notice that the temple is not destroyed as much as everything else is. So.
The only thing that's left is like the temple. What do we do here? You want to, I guess, check out the temple?
Crunch is just gonna pick up the head of the shirt. I should have prepared something to say.
What?
Just trying to think of something to say. Yeah.
It's gonna be like, you finally rest in peace. Even though you could have been my enemy. You know what? If you weren't my enemy, fuck you. I'm gonna toss this out to the side.
Very correct.
And I guess I'm gonna head towards the temple.
Alright, so the four of you head towards the temple.
Spear already born. Shield out.
Yeah, Karisa also draws her daggers. She looks over at you, Rynor, and she says, I thought you said this place would be safe.
It was when we left, but that was probably just over a week and a half ago. It was amazing. Everything was beautiful and green, and I'm assuming that some of the trees may have some leaves on them still. No. None at all? That way, okay.
No. None of the livestock survived. Even before.
Like a coward. Like that. I mean, it was a beautiful place. Everything was alive and luscious, and we were working on building up houses for people to move into. We literally just saved 2 people the other day, and actually they're the ones who told us about you.
And as you say that, you pass by the 2 bodies of the people you saved just 2 days ago.
Right on point.
Or just a few days ago. She goes, yes, they look very alive, Father.
I'm really glad it didn't wait us out on now.
Right, shit. Yeah, so make our way to the church.
Hold on. Can I do like an investigation check on some of the dead bodies to like see how they were killed?
Okay. Okay.
I'm just gonna use my passive of 17.
They just look like some of them seem to have like slashes through their bodies. Some of them have body parts severed off. But for the most part, they just look rotted. They just look like they're rotting and decaying.
Interesting. Yeah, so up to the temple.
Just a second, sorry. As you begin walking up, oh come on, don't do this. Come on, I was doing so well adding these pictures in. Bruh, what the fuck is happening? I refuse to believe. Oh, wait. Like 2 seconds. Give me 2 seconds. 1, 2. Give me 2 more seconds. When you add pictures in to tokens, you can't Control A to select everything and like delete the URL to add another one,
Individually.
or to like replace it. And so I did Control A and then delete, and then Control V to paste another one. And image URLs are freaking long. Like this whole time that I've been talking to you, I've just been highlighting the URL to delete it.
Jesus.
You can triple click. That works. Jesus Christ, thank you. So you're heading up towards the temple. And we'll say the temple's like here. And as you get there, you see this massive person standing in front of it, and as you walk up to him, he says, he begins talking to you in this booming voice that sort of echoes throughout the village, and he goes, "So, you thought that you could stop my plans to keep this world from ending, and that you would just go unscathed for it?"
Yeah, more or less. I mean,
Yeah.
we've been 20 years, so it seemed like a pretty good run.
Karisa looks at you too, and she's like, "Who the fuck is this, and what the fuck is he talking
I'm
about?"
assuming it's one of the other gods we pissed off, honey. But, you know, your old man's been up to some shit.
There were a lot of them, weren't there?
There were quite a few.
I mean, not that many, but when you count that there were multiple gods, that's more than
One.
yeah. It's kind of.
And as you're bickering back and forth about this, he's taking steps forward and is gonna immediately take a strike at Crunch, who is unprepared, so you can't have any reaction to the attack. And he's got this huge great axe. Like, the thing is massive.
Well, hold on. How am I unprepared? Because I specifically said that I drew my spear and shield.
You did early.
No, you know what? You're right. You're right. My bad. I forgot that you said that. So yeah, he takes a swing at you, And just in time, as you're bickering, you're able to hold your shield up, and he smacks his shield into you, and it knocks you back, but it doesn't do anything.
As a reaction, one of my infusions, I can use my shield to knock him back 15 feet.
I'll say he goes back to like here. He's massive.
Okay.
He's at least twice your size.
That would be about 15 feet
To
from the
hit
point
with
of
melee
origin.
attack, I can use one to hit them up to 15 feet away. So yeah, that works.
And then now, I would like everyone to roll initiative.
Nice.
Okay, hang on.
Thought we killed this fucker. Is this permanent? Thought we killed this fucker.
I think it starts soon.
Oh shit.
Crunch,
Still bodes bad.
Which,
crunch.
Okay, I'm going to cast.
no. What's your roll?
No, what'd you
Sorry,
roll?
19.
You still got you go first.
Rynor.
I got 14.
Okay. So crunch.
Okay. I'm gonna play it risky since we're still in the first few rounds.
Okay.
I'm going to cast Reduce on him to try and shrink him.
Okay. What does he have to do?
So you have to succeed in a Constitution saving throw.
Okay, what's your
It
save?
is 15. Yes.
15? He does not shrink. You can.
Nope, there goes one of my second level slots.
Alright, Dent? Or do you want to do anything
I'm
else?
going to go ahead and yeah, I'm gonna move like right over here. We play this safe for now.
Away.
And then for Dent, I'm gonna have Dent. I'm not sacrificing Dent like this. I'm gonna do it like right there. And I'm just gonna, I'm gonna call it there. Actually,
Alright. Well, he's
can I
gonna.
have Dent make? I was gonna do this, but I'm not sure if I can. Can Dent make ready actions?
I don't see why not.
I would assume so.
Okay. I'm just gonna go ahead and ready an action so that if he gets near me,
Dead bites.
then if he gets within 5 feet of Dent, Dent's gonna bite him.
Okay. So he's gonna move to right here and charge after you guys. So go ahead and make your attack roll.
Okay. Wait, for Dent biting him or for?
For dead bite.
For Dent
Yeah.
biting him.
I gotta pull up his cheat. I always forget the modifier on this. It is a unnatural 20.
Okay.
He's going to do 6 damage. Really chipping away.
What kind of damage is
It
that?
is force damage.
A bite is force damage?
Well, yeah, it's basically it's called force empowered rend, and it just says melee weapon attack. It doesn't. It's you get to choose whatever it is flavor wise, but it's force damage.
Okay. I needed 6.
Yeah.
Right. And he is gonna take a swing at Dent and a swing at Rynor. Roll for both of them.
Dent is going to use a reaction to impose disadvantage on the hit for Rynor. Because he has that deflect attack thing.
Huh?
Then he has the deflect attack reaction, so if he swings at somebody... Is Rynor within?
5 feet of dent?
No, okay, never mind. Yeah, you're not
No.
close enough.
Oh no.
So he's gonna swing at both of you. What is Dent's AC?
It is a 18.
Dent's AC is an
Yeah.
18?
Yeah, because of the +3 of the god armor from that.
Actually, I didn't
Oh
even
my
add
God, I
that.
forgot.
I didn't
What?
even add that.
No, that god armor is definitely with the 18. There's no way I
Yeah.
would have let Dent have an AC of 18.
No? Yeah, I did.
Yes. Casey, I can
Yeah,
guarantee
that's what we got on.
that I would not let you have. Okay, so he first takes a swipe at Rynor. And Rynor is gonna take 9 slashing damage from that, as he sort of is able to scathe you across the chest. And on the backswing, he goes after Dent, but his axe hits the ground next to him instead, as Dent jumps out of the way. And that'll end his turn.
So just a kind of 2-second rollback. Since he hit me, I'm going to use Hellish Rebuke, which is 3d10.
Does he have any kind of save?
No, it's just if a creature hits me. You point a finger at a creature that has damaged you and is momentarily surrounded by a hellish flame. Oh, the creature can make a dexterity saving throw. Takes 10 damage on a failed save, or on a success, he takes 2d10.
Takes what damage on a success?
Half of my 3d10.
Okay.
And the dex save is 14.
Okay.
So... 10 plus... so he takes 20 if he failed.
What kind of damage is
Fire.
it? Okay. You see his plated armor begin to sort of like turn red with heat, but it quickly sort of dissipates, and he seems fairly unscathed by it. Rynor, it's your turn.
Alright, so you said he has plate.
Yeah, he's got like plated, like a breastplate and everything. He's like got armor on.
Okay. Let me read real quick. Alright. So I'm going to use heat metal on his weapon.
Okay.
If the creature is holding or wearing the object, it is taking damage from. He takes 2d8 from that to start with. That's not my d8. So to start with, he takes 8 damage. Terrible roll. If the creature is holding or wearing the object, it takes damage from it. The creature must succeed on a con saving throw or drop the object if it can.
Okay, what's the save?
Should be 14.
Okay, he doesn't drop.
Okay, so if it doesn't drop the object, it has disadvantage on attack rolls and ability checks until the start of my next turn.
Okay. Alright, anything else?
I'm going to... Can't take a step back or anything. Although he has disadvantage. that opportunity. What was the thing I roll that? Let me see if I can do this. I haven't used this at all during any of these campaigns. Nothing actually. Okay. We're gonna stay here for this round.
Okay. Alright. Karisa going to sprint in. And she's going to have her daggers, and she's actually going to take 2 swipes, which are unbelievably quick. So fast that you hardly realize that she's done it. The first one just scathes his armor, but the second one she's able to land in a weak spot on the armor. And she does... Okay, she does a good chunk of damage to him. And where she hits him, it begins bleeding at first. Where she hits, you see some sort of the red liquid of blood coming out of the spot where she hits, and then it slowly turns into this black sludge as it's coming out. And then she is going to step over here. Crunch.
Okay. So am I within the does he have a 10-foot reach? Is that what we're saying?
I have no idea.
Like, am I going to provoke opportunity attacks?
I mean, he's right next to me, so that's why I provoked it.
It's 5 feet. You'd have to be one block over.
So I'm going to take a few steps back. If I can select myself. And while I'm here, I'm going to throw my spear at him. So that is a unnatural 20.
Okay.
And then I'm going to do 8 damage to him.
Is that magic?
It is magic.
Okay.
And then I'm going to pull it back to me. Are we still doing the D4? Okay.
Yeah.
I'm going to pull it back to me. That's another 3 damage on top of that. And then I'm going to run in and hit him with my spear again for my second attack.
You can only use your arm blade as a bonus action.
Well, I have extra attack.
Oh, just class wise? Okay.
So I'm gonna try to hit him with it, which will be a 14 plus. Okay, that's like 22, and then damage 6.
Magic or piercing?
Both.
No, it's one or the other.
Well, the spear does piercing damage, but it's a magic weapon.
It does magic damage then.
So,
Okay, so
and then after that, I'm gonna use my bonus action. Use my boots of the winding path to teleport back. Where I was here.
okay.
There. He was there.
I don't know if you have anything else.
Alright. Dent.
Dent is going to go ahead and take a bite. Takes a bite. 16 to hit. Doesn't do it? Okay.
His teeth are unable to pierce through the armor where he chooses to
Alright.
bite and attack.
In that case, I'm just gonna have him move over 1 to be next to Rynor, and we're done.
Okay. He takes a look down at his wound that Karisa inflicted on him, and so he's gonna take a step forward. And he's gonna attack her twice with disadvantage. First one. Doesn't hit. The second one does. And as he's so the first time he swings, she's able to actually she's able to jump out of the way as he swings and hits the ground again. And as he pulls it back up, he whispers something, and the blade on his axe begins to it begins to have this sort of aura around it. Not like it's on fire or anything, but just sort of this dark aura surrounding it.
You rolled with disadvantage, right? Okay.
Yeah.
No.
And that was
There's nothing in there.
So the second swipe, he's able to land directly in her left shoulder, and you see as the arm, her entire arm begins to she screams out in agony and pain as her arm sort of begins to wilt and decay.
Oh god.
Rynor, it's your turn.
Alright, so seeing him attack her. Okay, so seeing him attack her, I'm going to do Vicious Mockery. Succeed on a Wisdom saving throw or take 2d4. Or wait. Just on a Wisdom throw or take 2d4 and have disadvantage. Yeah.
It's 14, right?
Yeah. That's what I'll say this for.
Okay. Alright, anything else?
If he doesn't take the damage, I'm going to, well, obviously, as a bonus action, heat metal is going to flare back up, and he doesn't get to make a save or anything for this. He just takes the 2d8, which is 2 damage.
Both? You rolled 2.
I could roll 2 ones.
Jesus Christ.
And then he does have to do a save to see if he, or you're doing it on the armor.
No,
right?
the weapon.
So then I roll.
To see if he drops it, yeah.
Yeah. What's that save? What's the?
Should be. It's a con roll. I know that.
Okay, and it's 14. Right?
Yeah.
Okay, he doesn't drop his weapon.
Yeah. He has disadvantage tokens. It's kind of a broken.
And now it is Karisa's turn. She is going to try and splash at him again with her main hand first. And that doesn't hit. And she tries hard to swing with her offhand, Somehow that one does hit. And I'm trying to do this. And with her offhand, she's able to sink her dagger into his the same weak spot that she had it in before, and twists it, turns the dagger, and he screams out in agony as he drops his weapon to the ground and falls to his knees. Her dagger still in his side, and you can kind of see this blackness sort of filling up his veins underneath his skin, like these lines coursing through him, and very quickly his entire body sort of goes gray and he falls over lifeless.
Holy shit. Way to go, honey. I'm gonna cast healing word on her.
And before you're able to cast it, she just says, "No, don't worry about me," and she sort of limps off to the side, and with her main hand, she slits open her palm of her left hand, and takes two of her fingers and begins to draw something on the side of one of the buildings, where there is still a structure to be had.
I'm gonna run over and be, whoa, honey, what are you doing? You don't need to be cutting yourself. This is not. What? We can talk about your problems if you have them. They're leading you to do this.
And as you're walking over to her saying these things, you see the symbol of the bloodied raven's talon on the wall. And as she turns to you, both the palm of her hand and her entire arm are beginning to heal again. The cut on her hand is gone, and the black decay of her arm is slowly fading away.
What the hell is what? Oh my god, what is going on?
I told you, as long as I draw the symbol of the bloodied raven's talon, then I can be healed of my afflictions.
I don't know how I feel about this, but let's get to the temple and see if we can maybe figure out what's going on. We need to not be. I feel like that's sending up a signal flare to this person. We're more or less trying to keep you away from them. So let's try and not do that if we can. Your dad will take care of you. I promise.
So you're all going up to the temple?
Yeah.
Crunch, you're going up to the temple?
Yeah. Sorry, I just got email from work.
Okay. So
Weapons are still ready.
Weapons are go.
I feel like a little kid right now because the church gets out of work anytime that the school district closes for inclement weather. And we just had like a torrential downpour and it's supposed to stay below freezing tonight. So we're all like little kids staying up late trying to see if school's gonna get canceled. That would be amazing if the day Elden Ring comes out, classes get, or not classes, work gets canceled. I literally sent that in an email today. I was like, am I the only person that feels like they're back in elementary school watching like the morning news to see which parishes or counties here, which ones have school canceled due to inclement weather? But anyway, yeah, so you guys start making your way towards the, into the temple, and as you get inside, you don't see much. Everything appears to be destroyed on the inside as if there was a struggle. However, in sort of the center of the room, there is a door sitting there. Nothing surrounding it, just the door. And Karisa looks at you both and she goes, "Did my wounds not heal properly? Am I seeing things, or do you see this door too?"
I lean over to Crunch and I say, I may need you to take care of my daughter for a little bit. Daddy might have to have some fun time with you know who on the other side of that door there.
The fuck are you talking?
Don't you remember Melody?
Ah, yeah.
Karisa looks at you and she goes, Who's Meldy?"
Melody is a special friend.
Melody and your dad used to fuck.
Yeah, you're old enough
She
to
goes,
know.
"Oh, okay, I don't want to know anymore. I just okay," and she sort of walks off.
When a man and a man loves each other.
Don't want to hear about Dad's sex
walk
life.
away with her being like, you see, it all is how you got here.
She's gonna punch you,
Yes, I'm the one.
but you can't read social cues, so you don't know
Yeah.
I'm
She's
a
trying to shut me down, but
Um,
I like can't comprehend it at all. So I'm just like, so when a man and a man.
So due to the commotion happening, the door opens and you see Meldy poke his head out and he goes, "Oh my God. Guys, is that really you? Oh my God, it's been years."
I'm going to take the I'm gonna take the dildo out of my bag and throw it at him, and screaming, "I gave you my damn whistle stick 20 years ago, and you didn't fucking call."
Listen, man, I gotta tell you, it's not that easy. I am in a lot of different universes all the time, and it's really hard, okay? Don't think I didn't forget about us. Don't think we're so is she? Oh my God.
That is my
Cut,
daughter.
Where?
cut to me walking through the door with my arm around her, and that's how sex works. And I just kind of push her in.
Oh no, you guys aren't inside the thing. He came outside. He heard all of the yelling about learning about her dad's sex life, and he came outside to because he thought he recognized voices. And he looks back and forth between you and your daughter, and he goes,
I'm into freaky shit. I'll tell you that right now. But anyway, wait. Shoot. Some of you are missing. And why the hell are we in this torn down building? What's going on, guys? What the fuck have you done in the last 70 years?
So we sort of helped kill a god, more or less, and resurrect another one. The world is decaying and falling apart. Anybody who was soulless didn't get to go with the god that we resurrected to the new universe. So I'm sure you have new business opportunities. Yeah, that's Crunch here. He didn't get to go. And then
Why are you still here? Wait, souls? What?
Yeah.
What? Universes? What?
I elected to stay because I had to find, and I pulled my daughter in close. I had to find my daughter here. I knew she was alive.
he goes,
I know what you were looking for. I would do this exact same thing. Trust me, Rynor.
I think we're looking for different. We were looking for her for different love reasons, sir. Rynor is just completely baffled by this whole situation.
So he's looking around for a second, and you can see he's doing some mental math and aerobics in his head as he's putting this all together, and he goes,
Wait. You killed a god and brought... This universe is ending, isn't it?
Yeah.
And your other friends, they're already gone off to a new...
Yeah. Don't know what, don't know when, don't know what it's like, but they elected to move along, and me and Crunch here.
The important one's still here.
Yeah. Although I do miss. What was that little dwarf's name, Crunch? Do you remember?
Tordic?
Yes, Tordek. Oh, it was such a good time to hang out with. messed with that little man so many times.
He just kind of looks at you, Rynor, and he goes,
You idiot. You're gonna die here.
Yeah.
Dying in a universal collapse is not fun. It's long and painful.
Look, you do crazy things for the people you love.
I've done a lot of crazy things, trust me. I understand that. I've done some long and painful things. So I understand that too. However, I can't just let you all die. I don't normally do this because, well, there's not really room. But you can sleep on the floors. We can hop universes and be together and maybe find your friends along the way.
I mean, yeah, that sounds wonderful. It would definitely get my girl here away from my sweet baby girl, and get her away from the person. I'm not even sure that's following her, has her under some sort of shitty contract, or I don't know. It probably
Something's following her.
and at this point, Karisa speaks up and she goes, "The Raven Queen. I was searching for my father, and when I discovered that she could grant me the powers capable of doing that, I offered to trade my soul in return for the abilities that I would need to find him." And Melody kind of looks between the four of you, and he goes,
Rynor, I can't take her with me.
what? Why?
I don't mess with the Raven Queen.
You're an interdimensional. Like, I don't understand. What is the deal with this person? Why are people afraid of her?
She travels between dimensions, Rynor, and she collects the souls of the broken and the lost. She feeds off of tragedy. She has a collection. She's obsessed with it. It's some sort of morbid pastime for her. And if she's marked your daughter, there are a lot of people that I'll piss off. But no one's not even the gods are a match for the Raven Queen, Rynor. She can snap her fingers and end your life just like that, before you even have a chance to reach for your sword.
I can't leave her. I just got her back.
and as you're all talking about this, Melody he looks behind you, as if he notices something, and he goes,
Well, better get ready.
he points behind you. He points behind you.
We turn around, I take it. I turn around.
Okay.
You turn around and you see a woman, just as Karisa described her, sort of draped in some sort of dress with a cloak, all that appear to be made out of raven's feathers. And she looks at Karisa and she goes, "I see that you have completed your goal, Karisa. It is time to join me as you promised." And Karisa looks at you, Rynor, and she goes, "Father, I don't want to die. I don't want to go anymore."
So, Rynor steps forward and, I'm begging you, there must be something we can do, something we can trade, something, anything. Like, what do we have to do to keep her alive? She can't go. She has a full life left to live, and I want her to not live in such a shitty, terrible world. I want her to have a chance to be happy.
And she looks at you and closes her eyes as if she's meditating on something. And she opens them and says, Young man, I feed on tragedy and loss, sadness, emptiness. Those are the very things that make a soul worth collecting. She has promised me a soul that embodies such things. And it has to be one of the two of you.
You can take my soul. I had to go through everything she did. I lost her mother, and then I found people that I could call a family with Crunch and Tordek and Valen and Dez, and I had to make the ultimate sacrifice and say goodbye to them. You don't think I've lost and hurt so many more times than she has?
And Karisa looks at you and she goes, "No, Dad, no. No, you can't do that. This is my fault. I can't let you do that."
No, baby girl, it's not your fault. I should have been stronger. I should have been less rambunctious when you were younger and settled down and stayed with your mother and helped you, grow up to be the beautiful girl you've become. But instead, I decided to party and be wild and do what bards do. I need to repent for my
Damn
sins.
me for being a bard!
Not a bard!
So as you're saying these things to her, the Raven Queen spreads her arms, and the cape sort of drapes over them as if she's got her own wings, waiting to embrace one of the two of you. She says, "One of you has to go with me."
So Rynor's gonna start walking forward.
Okay. As he's walking forward, he's gonna feel Crunch's hand land on his shoulder, and then look. He's gonna pass by and step in front of the Raven Queen bitch, and just say,
978 years. I have watched this world fall. After the plague of war, a new plague set in, and I was there to witness it fall. Look into my eyes and tell me if my soul is enough.
He looks at you. She goes, "It's very valiant that you would offer yourself, but you don't have a soul."
God damn it, nobody wants to take me. One of those fucking souls.
Rynor sort of, not Rynor, Melody sort of speaks up in the background and he goes, "I want to take you!"
We'd be like, fine, I'm just gonna go watch it. Come on, then.
I'm gonna start walking just continue walking towards the Raven Queen. Turning slightly back to tell Melody to take care of her and give her the best life he can. Keep going.
Melody has stepped forward because Karisa has started to try and get forward and push you out of the way. But Melody has stepped forward, understanding the sacrifice that's trying to be made, and he grabs a hold of her and sort of holds her back as she's crying. And you walk into the Raven Queen's arms. She folds her arms around you, enveloping you in the wings. And Rynor and the Raven Queen fade away into a different plane. And I know, buddy. I know. And it's now just the three of you. You're now Karisa, by the way. I'm handing her off to you now that you're. It's just the three of you and Meldy.
So as Karisa, I dropped to my knees, sobbing. I just got him back. I can't believe I've lost him already. He meant everything to me. I gave up so much to try and be with him. Just stopping on the floor at this point.
Crunch is just gonna be like, God damn, I wasted so much time with that guy. Okay, are you ready to go?
wasted so many spell slots on that guy. Jesus, all to fucking die anyway.
I don't think you actually healed me once, but okay.
Huh?
I don't think you've actually healed me once in the campaign.
I've thrown my body in front of you so many
That's
times.
all right now.
That's he's done a lot with you. But Meldy's gonna walk over to Karisa, and he's gonna put his hand on her shoulder and say, "It's okay. Your dad was like a father to me. Probably in different ways, but I know, buddy. I know. Probably in different ways, but."
Hello.
Here's the thing. Your dad had a lot of good friends that are still out there that we can find. And you want to join me, Crunch? I think that's Den. Looks a lot fucking bigger than last time. You are more than welcome to share my bed with me.
At that comment, Crunch is gonna not so fast. I had seen this pattern.
He's gone. I need to know everything I can about him. I need Crunch. You have to tell me everything you ever did.
All right, I'm gonna go ahead and just start listing. I did.
Okay, well, at one point he showed up at the farm, and
Yeah, I have this pretty sweet farm that I built. Took like 900 years. Your dad kind of caught him pissing on the bushes once. That was
It seems like him.
yeah. Lots of combat scores. You see this chip? That's when I saved your father. You see this chip? That's another time I saved your father.
he was a really shitty fighter.
He was squishy. You know, he never was the aggressive type.
I will say he did save me one time in the sand pits. Really looked like I was gonna die there, but you know, I'm really smart. Saved myself. And I'm gonna shake my arm and let the last little bit of sand fall out.
As you guys are talking about this, Meldy helps you to your feet, his arm around you, comforting you, and he's going to usher you all into his shop and close the door. And you set off on your way to search for the rest of the party.
Holy shit. Pretty good.
Alright.
Pretty good.